Hello class, my name's Katie, for those of you who don't know. And today I'm going to be following up my partner Fern's claims that prohibiting unlicensed civilians from owning firearms would not benefit our country. And I came up with some disadvantages from their claim. So my first disadvantage that I came up with was that prohibiting civilians from the ownership of firearms infringes upon the right to self-defense. Banning guns from civilians puts them at a higher risk of becoming critically injured or possibly deceased if come with a confrontation. So I got this personal anecdote from not a personal anecdote. It was an article explaining what happened to a shop clerk who was just working, and a 27-year-old man came in with a handgun and tried to rob the store, but he had his own gun right there under the cashier register. So he shot him and was able to, get him down so the cops could come and eventually apprehend him. So that essentially saved his life and the other people who were in the shop as well. And another disadvantage that I came up with was that it could potentially increase the police brutality rates. And I know this seems kind of far off, but hear me out. So, according to mappingpoliceviolence.org, African Americans are at risk when dealing with law enforcement. With the rise of technology and social media, the public is now more aware of the fact that the police use too much force too often, especially dealing with Black people. According to my source, in 2017, the police killed 1,147 people, and 25% of those were Black, despite only being 13% of the population. Since 2017, that number jumped to 1,165 people in 2018. Out of 365 days a year, there was only 23 days in 2018 where the police did not kill someone. If guns are only to be allowed to military and law enforcement, this could already add to the huge God complexes and to the friction of our social climate, and eventually would lead to more police-related deaths, which there are a good number of already. And my third disadvantage that I found was that confiscating all firearms would be strenuous on local and government authorities. So if guns were banned, what would happen to all the firearms that are already out there? According to cattle.org, a think tank headquartered in Washington, D.C., after the Sandy Hook shooting, Governor Malloy of Connecticut created the Sandy Hook Commission that made a recommendation to ban the use of any firearm capable of firing 10 or more rounds without reloading. If that ban had gone into effect all across the country, it would cover tens of millions of guns that are already in the homes of gun owners. This example goes over how many guns would have to be seized in order to comply with the ban. Collecting over 10 million guns would cost too much manpower from either the side of the military or local law enforcement. And another subclaim that I found for the third claim, that confiscating all firearms would be strenuous on local and governmental authorities, is that it could create an underground, essentially bootlegging market. History has shown that prohibiting something might not exactly get rid of it completely. According to Britannica.com, bootlegging during the alcohol prohibition of the 1920s helped lead the establishment of American organized crime. And for those of you who don't know what organized crime is a highly centralized group run by criminals who participate in legal activities, such as drug dealers and gangs. These criminals would illegally sell alcohol in places such as speakeasies, nightclubs, and retailers. Since history tends to repeat itself, it isn't far-fetched to assume that the same would happen with firearms.